Hello and welcome to another episode of the Tejano Traveler. I am your host, Wally, and today we are looking at the Vanishing River cruise on Lake Buchanan and the Colorado River, just north of Austin. This cruise takes place on a boat. As you can see, it's nice and comfy, plenty of chairs, plenty of windows, plenty of sun to catch any birds that might be out there, any sights, any scenery. It's a pretty ample boat. It also has an upstairs, which you'll see in just a moment. But it's located at Lake Buchanan. It's a nice drive getting there. You go through the hills of Austin and everything, and there's a top deck right there. There's plenty of room this time because it was in the middle of winter and it was kind of chilly, but not too chilly to where you weren't enjoying it. There we are taking off from the docks, heading over to the Colorado River. Right now we're still in the Lake Buchanan. They told us a couple years ago during the drought the water was much lower. So as you can see, it's rebounded a bit. There's an island and there's the sun following us from behind. And there's a lake full of fish and wildlife and all that cool stuff. In some areas you can still see some of the old trees that the lake ended up submerging. And there's a island. Most of the islands have birds that are nesting on them, so they don't really head over to the islands. You gotta protect wildlife and all that. And there are some birds flying and some waves. As you get closer to the river, you start noticing that the water level goes down, so you can see some of the other trees that were submerged. And the birds like to hang out there because it's safe. Then you get to the cliffs, and you see it off in the distance. It's a waterfall. We'll get closer to it in just a moment. But this waterfall runs year round. It never dries up, according to the guide. And it's one of the main highlights when you're taking the Vanishing River cruise. You get to watch it on the way down the river and on the way back. It's pretty high, and it's from neighboring creeks. That's where they empty out of. And then it hides behind this pretty nifty rock formation, this sentinel of stone that just sort of hangs out there, poking out from the cliff, which makes you marvel at the erosion that took place for millions and billions of years to get us that rock formation. There I am with the rock. I love taking pictures with famous things behind me. The rest of the ride is a lot of cliff tops and a lot of little low areas where ranchers take their cows and graze upon the grasses next to the river. There's hills on both sides, which makes the trip enjoyable. Scenery changes. There's birds and wildlife that you can see on the way there. Now it's kind of cold, so a lot of birds weren't out, but this heron was. I love herons. And the water was pretty tranquil and serene, which let you just take in the scenery and enjoy it. I myself like when we get closer to the cliffs because you can sort of sometimes see animals grazing, especially these sheep or goats. Darn messages. But I like hanging out on the top deck. It's nice and shady and the wind was blowing and you could see everything around you. And like I said, it wasn't too crowded, so I was able to pretty much go to whatever scenery I wanted to check out. They offer eagle cruises, this is what it was. But I was taking a bald eagle cruise, but we didn't see any bald eagles. We saw cows, but that's not what I paid for. But either way, I was just paying for the experience to have. I wanted more than a 2-hour cruise, so that's what I got. Now we're on our way back, following more cliff sides. I'm not sure it'd be good for cliff jumping though. There's an inlet where other creeks are flowing into the Colorado River. There's our famous rock formation again as we're heading back to Lake Buchanan. I wonder if people ever climb it, and I wonder how difficult it is to climb, and I wonder if it has a name. Maybe I should name it. But we're going to take a look at the waterfall one last time. There it is before we head back. Kind of looks like spider fangs, so maybe I will call it Spider Fang Waterfall. Anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for coming along. This is Vanishing River Cruise. I hope you enjoy it. Make sure to go take it. Bye-bye.